I'd like to thank Mrs. Wargo, Mr. Ashton, and the maintenance staff who helped make this night beautiful in spite of the circumstances. Since I have two older sisters who graduated from here, and by the way, I'm obligated to mention them several times because one of them flew from London to be here. To some of my teachers, I am not Sarah Briere, but Janie Briere, the name of my older sister who graduated 5 years ago in 2008. It also means that this is the 7th Hockaday Commencement I've been required to attend, and the 5th that I've actually shown up to. I've been in the flower guard over there. I've sat over there quite a few times, and one year I was in the flag guard over there. You'll know what I mean after this is over. And no matter what angle I view the ceremony from, I've never seen such an impressive, ambitious, creative, and intelligent class graduate. I've gone to Hockaday for 13 years. Yes, 13 years. I came in kindergarten. So, no, I'm technically not a lifer, as some people call it. At the age of 3, when I auditioned for the pre-kindergarten class at Hockaday by playing with blocks and drawing pictures of clouds, the admissions counselors decided that I was inadequate for the school and rejected me. This is in spite of my two older sisters who already went here, and the years of emotional and financial support my parents and grandparents had collectively given the school. But after a year of intensive speech therapy, I was accepted to the class of 2013 in kindergarten, and thus my journey at Hockaday began. I don't remember much of my life before Hockaday, but something I can recall is the day my mom told me, "Sarah, you go into Hockaday. The speech therapy worked." At the time, all I knew about the school from my older sisters is that it was an all-girls school, and so I asked, "But Mom, how am I going to meet boys and find a boyfriend?" And actually, nobody ever really answered that question for me. When many of us entered Hockaday, the world was a different place. When I entered the school in the year 2000, Lindsay Lohan was still considered America's sweetheart. The iPod was still a rumination of an idea in the back of Steve Jobs' mind, and the national average gas price was $1.60 per gallon. And so, as we shuffled into school wearing Ted saddle Oxfords and green jumpers, we entered a world of Rotunda Rocks, fun days, and the fine piece of 4th grade musical theater known as No Need for Greed. Yes, for the 38 of us who entered in lower school, the world is a simple place. In middle school, things became more complicated. Puberty hit, and as our bodies were changing, we were forced to deal with our newfound freedom in the form of study halls and free breaks, in addition to participating in the bacchanalia that was Celebrate 7. And this is the beginning of the time you realize that we were different from everyone else, that Hockaday was different from everything else. Already I was starting to understand the things about the school that I took for granted. For example, it took me until 7th grade to figure out that most high school commencements don't have the look and feel of an outdoor debutante ball. As we continued on the yellow brick road of life, sorry, I felt obligated to make that 8th grade musical reference. We graduated middle school and moved on to upper school, the most definitive stage of our journey through Hockaday. We entered freshman year, unsure of who we were, unsure of who we wanted to be, but certain that we were in a place that could accept us for what we are and accommodate our evolving identities. Freshman year began at Moe Ranch, a positive experience for those of us who didn't end up with swine flu. As freshman year progressed, we saw the first example of our class working together for something. The day that came together was Forum Day 2010. Freshman Forum Day was the first time I realized our class was capable of doing something great. We baked a mean cake and prepared a decently funny rendition of Lady Gaga's Telephone to parallel the Britney Serafino Sonic Cup incident. I felt proud to wear my yellow shirt, which is big for me since yellow really isn't my color. We won second place in the competition, and several teachers noted that they had never seen a freshman class so enthusiastic about being freshmen. I'm going to skim over sophomore year because I tried, but I really couldn't think of anything significant that happened that year. Besides the Hockapocalypse, the 5-day school was canceled due to a few snowstorms, otherwise known as the best week of my life, and I'll move on to junior year, otherwise known as the worst year of my life. We came into junior year hopeful it would be just as pointless as sophomore year. Upperclassmen assured us that it really isn't as bad as everyone says. That was a lie. I like to look back on that period of our lives as the era of the acronyms, the JRP, the SAT, the ACT, AP, SPC for those of us who are athletic, ISAS for those of us who are not. In the entire year of 2012, the only male human I conversed with that wasn't a teacher, family member, or a therapist was a sushi waiter named Randy. But in my misery, in my social impasse, I found support from all my classmates. I was able to say, "I'm tired," and my friends would reply, "We're all tired, Sarah." Yes, even with the all-nighters, even with all the times my mom would ask me, "How was your day at school, Sarah?" And I would reply, "I hate everything." I always found comfort in the fact that there were 116 girls out there just as miserable as I was. By senior year, we were ready. Not only were we able to bond over the despair of the college application process, but we were able to connect over positive things too. Compliments exchanged over the campfire at the senior retreat, high fives for our performances in sports, likes on our Facebook profile pictures. Somehow we made it through it all. That brings us to where we are today. Now, as I graduate high school, I can say that I have experienced the things that the average high school senior should have experienced by now. I have felt the joy of getting accepted into college, the anguish of getting rejected. I have shed a tear when a boy didn't ask me to prom. I have been unreasonably mean to a freshman or two, just because. I have forgotten to wear a bra to school. Wait. That didn't happen to you guys? Yeah, me neither. And through these experiences, Hockaday always supported us, no matter who we were or what we were going through. There was always a place for us, whether it was the classroom, the theater, the ceramics room, the gym, or a desk in the deepest, darkest corner of the Ark if you were like me and preferred to isolate yourself from humanity during your free periods. And now, what do we have to show for all these years? A diploma, a class ring, a white bridesmaid's dress? Were these the best years of our lives, as every teen movie in existence has told us? I have to be honest and say that I pray to God that these years were not the best of my life. I have taken way too many standardized tests in the past 18 months for that. But I do believe that these were our most formative years, and thanks to Hockaday, we have a better idea of who we are and what we might become. And with that, we have stories and friendships that we will carry with us for the rest of our lives. My father passed away from cancer when I was in the 7th grade. In some of the worst months of my life, Hockaday provided me with the supportive community I needed. One of my favorite memories of middle school is when Mrs. Whitman, who was headmistress at the time, drove me to my barn for a horseback riding lesson and watched me ride. It made me feel a lot better, and it gave me bragging rights over my friends for months. As teachers and administrators like Mrs. Whitman, we have to thank for taking us to the place we are at today. The faculty is truly what make this school great and what provide us with a community of support where we can learn and grow. And for the teachers who were unlucky enough to teach us seniors this year's second semester, I sincerely apologize for our performance on behalf of everyone, especially myself. Yes, February of my senior year was about the time my definition of going to class went from attending and trying to making an appearance. Maybe. But I think the peak of my senioritis came last Monday when I turned in my last history paper to Mr. Kramer and wrote on the back, "I'm sorry." To the parents, thank you for always being there. Thank you for driving carpools, for coaching YMCA basketball teams, and for arranging some of the most sumptuous daisy days the school has ever seen. This is the last time that the class of 2013 will be all together in the same place at the same time. In truth, I'm not sure if I will see some of you again after this night. I'm not going to assert some trite phrase like, "This isn't the end, it's only the beginning," because really this is the end of a lot of things. It's the end of green plaid skirts, of debates over whether the orange chicken is gross or not that bad, of days dedicated to dressing like a boy, of contests on who can go the longest without shaving her legs. By the way, I almost always win that one. But sometimes I think we chose a good time to leave. Hockaday is changing, and it's hard for me to imagine what the school will be like without Toshibas, first class, the portable orchestra building, auditorium seats that haven't been reupholstered since the 1980s, Parker uniform Oxfords that are totally breathable and not at all stiff, and most importantly, the technology board. I am incredibly proud of this class for making it through it all, because if I haven't implied it enough already, let me just clearly state that the Hockaday journey is not for the faint of heart. Class of 2013, I admire you for the way you endured it, and I look forward to the things you're going to accomplish. Congratulations. You deserve it. Thank you.